Hey guys, it's Merce. Welcome back to Harpies in the Trees, where I review horror books with a supernatural focus. Today's video is going to be so much fun because it is an unboxing video. I haven't done one in a really long time, and it's for the Abominable book club box. And I haven't done one of these in, I think, like 2 months. I had forgot to update my address, and I just recently did it. I think there may be 2 boxes that got sent back because I got the slips and it was like too late to go get them. But this one I was able to get, so I'm just so excited. You know, I love this box to death, so I just really miss opening it up and seeing what we get and just all of that stuff. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it because I have got to know which month this box is and what is inside of it. But before we get started, be sure to like and comment down below. And if you would like to get more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. This box actually doesn't look like it went through customs in the same way they normally do. It's not opened, which is a rare treat. So this is what we are looking at in the inside here. Looks all well and good, everything in order. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the treats, which I normally like to start with. And okay, this is Lemon Drizzle Melts by Border, crafted with care, light buttery lemon biscuits with a zesty drizzle. These look really good. Let's give it a taste and see what it's about. It's definitely one of my favorite things to do in the box is just like to taste test stuff. They are a little broken in the box, but that's okay. But it is a nice crumbly cookie or biscuit. Smells very lemony. It has a little bit of lemon drizzle on top of it. Oh yeah, that's super delicious. It's definitely really crunchy. It's very buttery, very lemony. It's exactly how you would expect it to taste. It tastes so good. And it's a good thing that I'm no longer gluten-free. That is a very long-winded discussion of why I've decided to do that. But I'll just say that, you know, I was gluten-free for 10 years and gluten does affect me in a way that it makes me feel bad. But I have decided to just accept that. It's just a choice I decided to make. Let's move on to the drinks, the beverages. And we have our standard drink fare. We have 2 teas from Off Black. It's all peachy, and your golden, which is a spicy orange and ginger tea. We have a Lion's Gojo. This is a coffee, it's like a tea packet, but it's with coffee grinds inside of it. It's not dehydrated coffee, it's actual coffee grind. So it does take like 6 minutes for it to be ready before you can drink it. It's very good. And then, of course, a hot chocolate and a Nescafe cappuccino, probably. Cappuccino, unsweetened. Awesome. So we have a pin, and it is Bride of Frankenstein. Awesome. It's really funny because she has a blue face mask on with cucumbers. You know, self-care is important even for the undead. The used book is on top, but as you know, this is my favorite part of the box, so I'm going to wait and do this last. And I love the packaging for the used book with the wax seal, the twine, and the paper, which they always drop a few bits of blood on, if you can see there. But if you don't know what Abominable is, they are a UK-based horror book subscription company, and this is the full guts box. So you get a used book, a new release, and then something extra. Sometimes it's a magazine or a novella, sometimes an entire book. It just depends. And then we also get 2 bookmarks, a pin, the beverages, and a treat. So it is a great box. So let's put this to the side for now. It looks like this is the new release. It is called You Can Stay by Elle Connell. She is the perfect host. He's the perfect victim. This sounds like it might be a thriller. So sometimes with this box, you will get thrillers and mysteries as well, every so often. And we have a book plate signed by the author. Someone is hunting Connor, alone, freezing in the wilderness of Bodeman Moor on an elite special forces training exercise. He'd be a fool to scorn the kindness of a local stranger, wouldn't he? At first, Eyelid, I know that is not how you say that name, seems to be an impeccable host. She offers Connor food and a warm bed. He finds it nearly impossible to leave her charming farmhouse, but the choice isn't his to make. There have been others before, none though as perfect as him. Why would she let him leave? Gives me a little bit of like a Misery vibes, you know? One review says, so dark yet laced with humor and such clever plotting. It sounds okay. Another new release, so we get 2 new releases, that's amazing. It's Ronald Malfi's 4 novellas, ghost-written, Books Can Be Deadly. I haven't read any Ronald Malfi yet. I did want to pick up his Black Mouth. I think that sounded really cool. I had talked about it in one of my upcoming releases video. It sounded really awesome, but I still haven't gotten around to getting it, so I'm definitely going to do that at some point. And Josh Mallerman says a modern day Algernon Blackwood, who's definitely an author that I'm getting into right now. A cursed novel drives people to their deaths in the skin of her teeth. A delivery job turns deadly in The Dark Brother's Last Ride. This book belongs to Olo, sees a child wielding dangerous control over an unusual pop-up book. A choose-your-own adventure game spirals into an uncanny reality in The Story. Full of creepy page-turning suspense, these collected novellas are all about books, stories, and manuscripts. The written word has never had sharper teeth. Andrew Piper says, a story that will carry you inescapably into the uncanny, the horrific. I like those odds. This book belongs to Olo, sounds the most intriguing to me so far. I think I like this idea of like the pop-up book thing. I mean, that sort of makes me think of like the Babadook, but I like that type of element in it. All right, and oh wow, okay, so we also have a sticker for this month, and it's really great. It is 2 pieces of pizza with a skull in the middle. So it's not skull and bones, it's skull and pizza. So sometimes we get a sticker too, it just depends, I guess. And we always get a premium bookmark and also a microfiction bookmark. And this one is really cool. This is it says Karloff, the uncanny in The Mummy. The artwork is really, really nice. It comes to life. I love this. This is so cool. I love the color scheme and the art design. And then as well as this being the microfiction, it also has a QR code so we can check out the spoiler card afterwards. But let's go ahead and read the microfiction and see where this story takes us. Come on, Billy. It's just 5 minutes. Billy looked up at the house, an ominous, leering structure, and took a deep breath. How it was still standing was a mystery unto itself. All windows and doors were long gone, replaced with haphazardly nailed planks of rotting wood. Trailing weeds had overtaken the plot, weaving in and out of the walls like a vegetative nervous system. The entire right side of the roof was missing too, collapsed inwards. During a storm last year, the older boys shoved Billy forward, and his shoe crunched in the gravel pathway. Go on, then. Billy walked up to the path and ducked under the wooden barricade, blocking the door. The inside was even worse than the outside. A great hole had opened up at the main hall, which made it impossible to go further than the door. And the whole place was covered in cobwebs. Billy took out his phone and started the timer. 5 minutes to go. Only 2 minutes had passed when Billy began to pace. He didn't believe the horror stories about this place, about how even the adults avoided the trapdoor house, but he couldn't help feeling unsettled anyway. He kicked back and forth through the thick webs until he heard a noise. Something scuttling, something big, something coming from underneath him. Billy switched on his torch and pointed it at the hole. At first he saw nothing, but then he noticed black orbs staring back at him, 8 of them. Suddenly, 4 enormous black limbs raised up from the hole and wrapped around him, and in a split second he was whipped away into the darkness. Methinks that might be a spider. Now let's open this up and see what used book I got. It's definitely a paperback. All right, let's see. Peter May, I'll Keep You Safe. I thought at first it was going to be Peter James, and I got Peter James last time, but I don't know who Peter May is. It looks like a thriller to me, maybe? Oh, there's some pronunciations here in Gaelic. It's pretty cool. I can't tell when it was printed because I think a few pages were taken out as a keepsake at some point. Oh man, these names. Wow. This name is pronounced in a way that I would never have guessed. Neve and Ruwari McFarlane co-own the Hebridean company Ronish Tweed on a business trip to Paris to promote their luxury brand. Neve learns of Ruwari's affair and then looks on as he and his lover are killed by a car bomb. She returns home to Louis, bereft. Neve begins to look back on her life with Ruwari, desperate to identify anyone who may have held a grudge against him. The French police, meanwhile, have ruled out terrorism and ruled in murder and sent Detective Sylvie Brock to shadow their prime suspect, Neve. As one woman works back through her memories and the other moves forward with her investigation, the two draw ever closer to a deadly enemy with its own murderous designs. So it's definitely a mystery thriller month. They both sound fairly interesting to me, but I don't think this one's pulling me in as much maybe as the other one. But I do like to have thrillers and mysteries on hand because I do get into those moods. It's just not as often as when I can read, something spooky. So now let's check out the spoiler card. Maybe there's some information. So I don't see the spoiler card for this box, so don't have any other details on that unless I'm missing something. Oh well, just October is here, so you can see everything that was in for October. It looks like the books for October were The House of Tongues by James Dashner and Black Lake Manor by Guy Morpus, which sounded pretty cool, both of them actually. Okay, whatever. I don't want to think about it. I think my favorite things in the box are like the Skull and Pizza sticker. I really love this bookmark. It's just really eye-catching, and I'm probably gonna use it a lot. It's really pretty. The pen, of course, is fun. And this Ronald Malfi book, I think, is the book out of the box that is really, I think, going to be a good read for me. The pop-up story sounds really cool, but also the choose your own adventure game sounds pretty fun as well. It doesn't really tell me like what kind of horror it is, but it looks like there's probably going to be a little bit of a bunch of different things in here, I guess, I would assume. At first, when I saw that it said ghost written, I thought maybe he was, collaborating with some other authors, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think so. So unfortunately, I still don't know what box this is. It's either November or December, it has to be. But anyway, it was so much fun to open this box. I miss this box so much, especially the used book. I just love the mystery of what it might be, and it just makes it so much more exciting. Like, I love a good white noise, you know what I mean? So that was it for me. Let us know down in the comments what you thought about this box. And if you get this box, would you prefer to have all horror books or all mystery books, or do you like the half and half that happens? Other than that, please take care of yourselves, look out for each other, and I will talk to you next time.